they didn't look into it.
We've talked to people before, Gary and Puro, about this alternative system. They've actually been brainstorming of actual systems and setting up web pages to give people, I think, something that might be an alternative to YouTube. And I saw some of the structure of what Puro was designing, and it looked very user-friendly, but it was like in beta or alpha stages. But it looked like the concepts of networking pages together, and what Gary talks about with his rating systems is very reasonable, and I think actually solves a lot of problems that the current YouTube kind of monster is, and that, you know, they allow these things to happen to videos like yours and other people's. So yeah, it's interesting. Would you be a part of supporting something that people like, maybe they wanted to make this alternative site, and if you got deleted here, would you be joining another site and then maybe promoting your ideas and give it that ZOMGitsCriss bump of approval kind of thing? Would you be open to any of that?
Yeah, theoretically I would, but I'm really such a bad internet person. I neglect my YouTube account. Most of the times you will see I'm not logged into for like 14 hours. I neglect my Twitter. I don't have a MySpace. I don't have a Facebook. I don't go to forums. So I'm just I would support it, but you know, within a reasonable, you know, like time.
It's interesting.
For me, the time is the problem. You know, I don't really have that much time for internet, and this is already going. You know, my YouTube channel is already going. I don't have to work for it.
Yeah, but I wanted to get your opinion again, just on record, about public healthcare and assisted suicide. Should they be separate or in the same kind of thing, in the same kind of package?
I really never gave it that much thought, but I will, simply because in the Romanian system I don't think this would work. The structure of our healthcare, I don't think you can make, you know, assisted suicide part of it. Mm-hmm. Even, yeah, I think it's different for every country, but the service should definitely be available for everybody who wants to use it. Actually, this idea, you know, everybody asks me if I am all for assisted suicide because I've been watching Gary and Mandam, but actually I have been thinking about it ever since I saw Silent Green. You know, if you remember the movies like from the 70s, and they did have this service. You know, it is in the future, and you could, you know, if you didn't want to live, no matter if you were rich, poor, old, young, if you just didn't want to live, you would go there and they will give you all this, you know, all those things you like. You will have like an hour of total comfort and happiness, and then they will just give you a shot. And I thought that was a good idea because I have been living in this apartment in a flat where there were many old people and they were all dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept on thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna be there, you know, sometime. I liked the idea the first time I ever heard about it.
We talked about something very interesting, and it kind of raised my eyebrow when I heard you say it, is talking about death so much. How would you, if you could, plan, or not plan, but go out of this world? I mean, we talked about going out with a bang, or maybe some people they hope to die in their sleep in their warm bed. But I think you had an interesting answer. You want to share that again with us?
I don't know if I was half joking when I said that I want to be killed. I mean, I said that
murder.
You know, murder is just another way to die. It's not necessarily something bad as long as there's not much pain involved. I mean, there is any pain involved, like a bullet to the head, because you don't know when it happens. And this is what I want to do. I don't want to know when I die. For me, it would be, you know, mental torture to know the exact time I'm gonna die. You know, this is the suicide. You have an appointment, you know, and you know when you're gonna die, and this will torment me. I would rather just die on the spot without feeling anything, without knowing anything.
Yeah. I can give you some first-hand experience of a almost a near fatal accident, and then my reaction coming back into consciousness after being knocked out. When I was 17, I was driving to my high school, and I was making a turn, and a car came and swiped me in the driver's seat, and it hit me, and I was airlifted to a hospital. But the day was knocked out of my memory at all, so I don't remember any of the event. I had to piece back the event from what people told me when I woke up in the hospital, so I don't remember any of it. And so in that sense, I could have not returned consciousness, and it would have been okay because there was no pain or suffering at all. So under that sense, I do have to agree with, if it's quick and painless, it doesn't really make that big a deal unless you factor in the pain and suffering of others that you're connected to, like your family and your friends. So
also, when I was thinking about assisted suicide, I was thinking, to be maybe like a full service, you would have therapy. For instance, let's say that a young person, somebody who's 22 years old, will just go there and say that he wants to die, he wants to get a shot. You will have to have, some kind of schedule for those kind of things. The very sick people, the people with terminal diseases will be like an urgent, schedule, and those other people will have to wait 2 weeks, a month, I don't know.
Yeah.
And also therapy will be available for them. They will have somebody to talk to. So this is why I think that for the number of people who just go through a depression and go and kill themselves, the number of people who will be doing that, I think, will decrease because they will get a chance, to go to therapy, to seek help.
Yeah.
Even if they don't actually seek help, they will get help even without actually, searching for it.
Yeah.
So I think that should be a good thing. Also, it could be some kind of service, where other people will go and tell your family and your friends that you are dead because you wanted to. Some people do, before they commit suicide, will probably want to take care of this themselves. That's the right thing to do. Just go and talk to everybody. But maybe you just don't want to deal with that. Maybe you don't want to deal with your family being, in grief and asking you to do it. Just get rid of all that stress and have somebody take care of it for you.
Right.
Getting out of here.
Yeah.
Out of Romania or just out of your...
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it's for just personal, interior, whatever reasons.
Can you...
Yeah. I would rather not go into detail, but I have been thinking about it a lot. It's not something that I would tell publicly, but it has been on my mind.
So within the European Union, can you now, as a Romanian citizen, just live in other European countries? Yeah? Yeah,
you can pretty much. And my mother lives in Germany, so I could always have the alternative to, go and stay with her for a while, like get a job or something,
Right.
Okay, well, before the Romanian/American connection cuts off a last time, we want to thank you, Christina, for hopping on the program today and letting us hear some of your perspectives on the issues, those serious issues, and maybe, just want to...
You ever got to get anything off your chest again that you're afraid is too controversial for your channel? This can be your mouthpiece, so come back and...
okay, thank you for having me. I don't think this turned out as good as you might have thought. I think I rambled a lot. Maybe if you don't edit anything, the people, when my face is frozen, they will just be relieved. They will skip forward, to the parts where I get frozen, so you guys can talk.
Okay, maybe, or maybe not.
At least this is what I think now. I think I rambled a lot, but we'll see.
That's alright. We all have a tendency to do that.
So what is the upcoming time for Christmas or for Halloween or when?
We will see. We might have it up before you even know it.